Hello, hello, hello. Hold on, let me. Okay, we're gonna get that together. Just had to do a little bit of lens check. Let's get Facebook and Instagram started. Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Happy, thankful, thriving Thursday. It's a great day to have a great day. We were off work today. We had a snow day, so it's always a great day when you get a snow day. I know the parents were upset, but that's just how the story goes, people. We spend a lot of time with your children, so it's time for you to spend some time with yours. Hi, Araga. I hope I said your name correctly. So, I am here to talk to my first time home buyers. I am a real estate agent here in the beautiful city of Detroit, Michigan, and its surrounding areas. And I have something to say, okay? So let's get into it right quick because I do still, even though I'm off, I still got some things I got to get done. So I'm talking to you. Hey, it could be seasoned home buyers because a lot of times when we become homeowners, I did the same thing, right? I I did not do a budget. So it was crazy that I was able to keep my home as long as I was because I did not have the financial principles to keep a home. I had a 4 bedroom, 2 bath home in Memphis, Tennessee at one point. I was homeowner for 10 years. So I'm talking through true experience in this thing, okay? So this is what you should not, these are some things that you can avoid. So I'm going to do this in a 3-part episode segment because I don't want to give too much away, right? And give too much information too soon. So here is what we're talking about today, right? We're talking about not understanding your budget. A lot of people go into first time home buying and have a champagne budget. I should say champagne lifestyle with a beer budget. You want all these things, but the whole point is to get into a home where you can use it for leverage. Okay. So how many of you know exactly how much house you can afford? That's the question. How many of you know how much house you can afford? So drop a money bag in the comments if you think you do, and a emoji, the question mark emoji. If you're unsure, and that's okay, because this is what I'm here to help you do. So usually, typically, you want to do, the 50-30-20 kind of rule. So 50% of your budget is going to, your you to change David, you and these name changes. Okay, Jet Renaissance Club. I see you. Let's get it together. That's a billionaire friend right there, y'all. Him and his lovely woman. Tell I said hello. But you have to understand how much you can afford. And a lot of people don't get out of the principle of the 50-30-20. So 50% to your expenses, 30% to savings, and 20% to investing, right? That's how you typically should be, living. But a lot of people, live beyond their means. I've done it plenty of times before. So it's not judging, but that is the principle that you should be living on: 50-30-20. So 50% expenses, those are your, mortgage, car note, all the things that you have to pay for. 30% savings, and hopefully you're saving in a high yield savings account, and that's getting you 4 to 5% APY, and 20% in investing. So that's what you should be thinking towards when you are thinking about a home. So what happens when you don't set a budget? What happens is, I should have put my phone on do not disturb. Let me do that now. Is there always somebody calling me when I'm on my live? Anyway, I had to put my phone on do not disturb. I forgot to put it on there. But anyway, so what happens when you don't set a budget? A lot of times buyers fall in love with homes out of their price range. Because I go and look at $1 million homes all the time. I have it on my on my feed. I went to see a $3.9 million house. I love those houses, are beautiful off the lake in Bloomfield Hills. So you talking about Well, it changes. The high yield accounts are depends on the bank and what they got going on right now. So I haven't done the recent research, but you have different banks. You just have to a Nerd Wallet always ranks them. So Nerd Wallet would be your best resource because that changes from time to time. Why is it reconnecting? So like I was saying, Nerd Wallet is your best way to go and research that because it changes from month to month because people the interest rates change. So you have some that's doing 4% all the way up to almost 5. So you just have to see which ones have the most benefit for you. And Nerd Wallet is a good resource to do that. So, like I said, what happens when you don't set a budget? You fall in love with homes that are out of your price range. We all like to go to those open houses with those 3 and 4, $2 million, $1 million homes, but can you really afford that? You have to understand what your budget, what your income has to be in order to afford a home in that manner. So you want to focus only on the list. They focus only on the listing price, forgetting about hidden costs such as property taxes, fees, maintenance, and insurance. So a lot of times you get pre-approved. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do another series on that. So you make it so that get you don't take the whole entire amount. Do what you can afford. So you have to understand that it's not just your mortgage that you're paying for. You have to understand that, and that's your interest in your principal. Property taxes are in there, other fees are in there. You should be saving for maintenance, and then you have insurance that has to come out. They risk overextending financially, becoming house poor. So you don't want to become house poor. Struggling to what is house poor? Struggling to afford anything outside of your mortgage payments. So making sure that you can, don't become house poor. You need to make sure that you understand all of, just because, like, for instance, if you can afford $1,800 a month, if that's all you can afford, then you have to factor in that your mortgage has to include the taxes, insurance, and your taxes, insurance, maintenance, and other fees. So you have to make sure that that $1,800 is including that. So a real life example would be, um, Elisa was pre-qualified for 300K, but after closing, insurance, property taxes, her actual payment was $500 more than she expected. Thus, she had to back out of her dream home at the last minute. So you don't want to back out of your dream home at the last minute by not understanding every single piece of the fees that are going to be attached to your mortgage. Because it's not just the mortgage, the principal and the interest. It's property taxes, it's insurance, it's fees, it's maintenance, it's all types of different things. Why did they end my live? That makes me mad. Sorry, y'all. Let me get this together on my Instagram. Because I don't even understand why they ended my live. They hating on me. They hating on me for sure. Instagram. But we're gonna get it back together. We're gonna get it back. Hold tight, hold tight. Because we're gonna get it all the way together. Because what they not gonna do is stop me from my message though. That's what they not gonna do. Hi Shannon. How are you? I'm trying to fix my Instagram, child, because they trying to stop me from saying my message on IG. I don't know what's going on with that. But anyway, I'm talking about not understanding your budget when you're focusing on buying your first home, right? So, like I was saying before, you have to understand there are hidden costs in there that's outside of your mortgage and interest that you have to factor in. So if you only can afford $1,800, then that means that you need to factor in that's your property taxes, your insurance, your maintenance, and all your other fees that goes with that. If you know that you only for $1,500. You have to make sure you factor in all of those. So when you're talking to your mortgage lender and your mortgage broker, then you are talking to your people about you're talking to them about what those fees are. They should be able to tell you. Insurance quotes are going to be insurance quotes, but they should be able to tell you that as well. As far as high yield accounts, I'm not for sure which ones right now are the best, but if you go to NerdWallet and put in high yielding savings accounts, they'll rank them to which ones are the best right now. You just pick one that has best. I know SoFi was one of them that was up there. A couple of credit unions were up there. I think Capital One was in there somewhere. So you want to get between 4 to 5% on that high yield savings account. So remember, you want your budget, your expenses to be, my pleasure. You want your budget to be the 50, 30, 20, 50% expenses, 30% savings, 20% investing, right? So like I said, this real life example, Lisa was pre-qualified for $300K, but after closing costs, insurance, property taxes, and her actual payment was $500 more than she expected. Thus, she had to back out of her dream home. So you don't want to back out of your dream home because you can't afford it. You know, it was a viral video going around before, and the lady was talking about how she couldn't afford her home. But it's a lot of people that are out there because they're not factoring in this before they even get into it. You have to factor in these costs. These costs can be, you know, I don't want to say avoid it, but you can get ahead of it if you know what those are. So how to avoid how to avoid it. So you want to create a realistic home buying budget. That's what you want to do. So get pre-approved, not pre-qualified, pre-approved. So pre-qualification is an estimate, while pre-approval is the actual lender's assessment. So you need to know the difference. Don't get tricked by pre-qualified and pre-approval. So pre-qualification is a rough kind of estimate, kind of a soft estimate of what you can qualify for. Pre-approval is when they went and looked through all of your finances, all the paperwork that they ask you for. So if you are a W-2 employee, they're going to want 2 years of your tax returns. They're going to want 3 months bank statements, 3 months of your credit card statements, and any other income that you have, they want that incorporated in there. So if you're a business owner, they're going to want to see your 1099s, your asset list, your balance sheet, your P&Ls, your other financial documents that you're going to have to, for them to see how are you making your money. They want to see your asset list and your class and how is making money. And a lot of times, if you have high debt and you're trying to buy a home, you can still buy it, but as long as that debt is accumulating money from it, like you have assets that are tied to the debt and it's making you money, they accept that. So usually it's only like 40%, 40% debt to income ratio. But the higher your credit score is, the lower, that lower that goes. So that it goes in the inverse. And then the lower your credit score is, the higher it is. So they might want you to have 50, they might want you to have, lower. They might want you to have 30% debt to income, or 40% is average. But if you have money that is generating and it's high debt, you might get up to the 50-60 range if you have that money that's coming in outside of any other mainstay income that you have. So know the difference between pre-qualification, which is an estimate, and pre-approval, which is the actual lender's assessment. They're calling through your paperwork. They're telling you exactly what you could afford. But please, during this process, do not, I'm going to get into it, something else you should not be doing. But so step 2 is use the 26 over 36 rule. So housing expenses should be no more than 28% of your gross monthly income. That's just housing expenses. I said 50% of your entire expenses, but 28% of that 50 should only be housing. Okay. Well, that's to your gross income. So total debt should not exceed 36% of your gross monthly income. So you need to make sure that that debt is lower than your gross monthly income. That's that debt to income ratio. So if you make 60K a year, do the math. Okay. So you're talking about, I don't have a calculator. Let me see uh, what I can do. Calculate it for you right quick. So do some real life calculations. Let's see what it do. It won't let me pull it up on the screen at the same time. That's crazy. But let's see. 60K, right? Times 28% is actually 16,800, right? So, um, your housing expenses, need to be, you know, less than that. So that's what we're talking about. Um, and your income needs to make sure that I should say your housing expenses shouldn't be no more than that. And then your monthly income should only be, your gross monthly income should be 30%, 36%. I don't exceed 36% of your monthly income. So know all your costs, right? Know all of your costs. That's what you're talking about. Mortgage payment, property taxes, insurance, HOA fees, maintenance. There should be any surprises because you know these things. There should be any surprises because you know these things, right? So make sure that you don't have those surprise costs. Surprise costs could, so to prepare, home repairs, emergency fund, closing costs, you need to make sure you have a fund for that. That's why when you're using first time home buyer incentives, they are wanting you to have 3 months of your mortgage already saved. That's the start of your emergency fund. It shouldn't stop there. You should continuously be putting things back into that fund, and it should grow to 6 months, a year and a half, 2 years. Like, keep that fund and don't touch it, and you'll be able to have that money just in case something happens. Maybe you have to do something on a whim. You have to, fix something that's not covered by your insurance or your um, home warranties. It'll be substantial for you to be able to have that money as a nest egg. So let's that's all I wanted to talk about today. So a lot of times people make, as the first time home buyer, is the mistake of not understanding your budget and making mistakes within that budget. Stay within your price range. I really wish you wouldn't run in the water right now. Great. But making sure you stay within that budget, making sure that you are understanding the difference between a pre-approval and a pre-qualification. A pre-approval is the actual lender assessment. They don't comb through your finances. A pre-qualification is just a rough kind of estimate that they look over it and just be like, hi Travius, and kind of estimate what they think you can afford, but they haven't really combed through everything. So just know the difference. Know the 28-36 rule. 28% of your gross income should go to your housing expenses, and that's yearly. So for instance, if you're making $60,000 per year, 16,800 should only be going to your housing expenses, and your debt should not be exceeding 36% of your gross monthly income. So know your numbers. So that 28-36 rule. So when we're looking to buy your home, make sure that you are understanding these principles. Right now, you should be living on the 50-30-20 rule. 50% housing expenses, 30%, well, I shouldn't say housing expenses, expenses in general, 30% savings, 20%, investing, or however you want to arrange it. So, if you want to get a little leaner, or if you can't do it, to that much, then make sure you're doing something. Putting together a financial plan to buy your first home is always substantial because of the fact that you have to have a plan going in, and you have to go a plan once you're in it. And a lot of people have this misstep when they're first going in. And also once they get in, they fall by the wayside and don't think about how can I create a financial plan when I'm in there as well. So I'm going to be speaking about that. Um, what's one thing about home buying that has surprised you? If you're a homeowner or a first-time home buyer, you're looking to do, what is one thing about home buying costs that surprised you? So it'd be, great to know. So drop it in the comments. Let me know what has surprised you. What do you think? If you are a homeowner, once it has surprised you since you've been in your home, I would love to know. So if you want a full breakdown on how to budget and avoid mistakes, you can grab my ebook, Journey to Your Castle, for the step-by-step game plan to home ownership. So I'll put the link is in my bio on my YouTube. It's going to be in the link for my Facebook. It is in the link in my bio, my IG, my Instagram. So check out my first time home buyer guide. And I also have a guide for homeowners to help you with your financial plan because I am a financial literacy educator. So I'm helping individuals. I just signed up someone yesterday who was on her home ownership journey. And I can't wait to get her into her home. Hi, Allegra. Hi, Cora. So I can't wait to get her in her home. She's excited. She wants to be her husband are wanting to invest in real estate. It don't have to just be their primary home. It could be an investment property that you want to get in. But like I was telling her, it's best to do that 4 unit, so that or at least a duplex. If she can get a 4 unit, that's great. And then because they want to be able to use that as leverage to buy more properties or to buy their ultimate dream home. That's the best way to do it, by doubling up. And you can use the first time home buyer incentives that they have in your county, your state, for these type of purchases as well. It doesn't have to be a single family. Single family is still classified. Hi, Nisa, still classified in the 4 unit category. So as long as it's less than 4 units or less, you can still use first time home buyer incentives. But you have to live in one of the units. That's the only caveat. But you have to live in one of the units. But it's temporary sacrifice in order to be able to get your long-term dream. That's what we're talking about. Like I was telling her, duplex or better. Duplex, triplex, fourplex, live in one side for a year, maybe a year or two. Grow your equity. Have them other people growing your equity. Because if the home is producing income, it's better leverage for you to go out and buy another home, because not only have you got that mortgage down, gaining the equity, but they're seeing that you have that extra income coming in on top of your whatever income that you have. And when you have an income producing asset, the banks like that because they feel safe with you. They want to feel safe too. So you got to, in order to make them feel safe, make sure that you are you definitely should get a duplex in Atlanta. But if you can find one though, that'd be the thing. But make sure that you're making the smart decisions. I know if I was younger, when I first bought my home, I bought a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. It was a steal though. It was like for $150. So I couldn't. But I wish I would have knew what I knew now, because I would have definitely bought a duplex in Memphis instead of my home, lived in that one, and able to start my real estate journey. But I wasn't in that mindset then. So I'm telling you, if you're a first time home buyer and you want to get into home, if you don't have to get into real estate investing. This just if you want to. Now, if you are looking to get into real estate investing, this the best way is to buy that duplex, triplex, or quad. Live in one side for a year or two, build up that equity, build up your savings, because the other people are going to be paying your mortgage. And you can also get an FHA 203K loan if it needs to be fixed up. That could be coupled in there. So you won't even have to worry about, make sure you get you some good contractors. That's why I'm getting my residential builder's license, so I can be like, this costs this and that costs that, and I know what that is. So that's the reason why, because when I start doing my real estate investing and I get my properties and stuff, Nobody's going to be able to dupe me because I got the education. So, but get with trusted professional. Start building your team now. Get your trusted real estate professional. Get you a trusted, lender. Make these relationships right now before you even start buying. Find inspectors. Find contractors. If you're looking to invest in real estate, you got to fix it up. Find these people, ask them, give them references and, check them out, because they are working for you. You're not working for them. So just make sure that you are, doing that. So like I said, Journey to Your Castle ebook. I'm going to change my link out on my Facebook because that was my wonderful workshop I did a couple weeks ago for the WIN community. But I'm gonna change that to the Journey to Your Castle, so you can, yes, hire me if you're in the Detroit and the surrounding areas. So, Journey to Your Castle ebook is for first-time home buyers, okay? And I have one for homeowners as well to help you build your financial plan, so you can use your home as an asset and not be a sitting duck and be house poor. Let's not do that. All right. So with that being said, I bid you adieu. I got to get ready for an appointment and I will see you back next week. Check out some more of my content, like, share, follow, do all of those things, subscribe, do all of those things. Thank you for the comments and the participation from everybody. And like I said, you can drop ebook in the comments if you want a copy of my ebook for first-time home buyers and also homeowners. And if you are a real estate professional, you can gift this to someone that is not ready yet. You can gift this ebook to somebody who's not ready yet, the first-time home buyer guide, or you can gift it to your clients once at the closing table they have their home, my homeowner's guide for their financial plan. Hey, Tony. So I got what you need. I'm like your pusher. All right. No, pusher for education and knowledge. That's what I am. So definitely tap in, tap in. All right, Corey, I got you. I will send you the link. I will send you that link. So I'll see you all next week. Tap into, like I said, my ebooks and my content, like, share, comment, all of that. Thank you. I appreciate you. And let's not be house poor. You got to understand your budget. If you miss it, go back and watch it. Don't worry about what happened. I had a little technical difficulties. Go past that part and then just get to the juicy part. Okay. Let's get into it. So have an amazing day, everyone. Happy Friday Eve, and I'll see you next week. I wish he wasn't running the water while I was talking.